I'm Mike Robb, co-owner of Sea and Sun Travel Agency. As a reminder, during this presentation, we're going to put everybody on mute outside of the co-host. And if you have a question, Sue, if you have a question, just ask it in the chat. And we'll also have some time at the end for Q&A. We also wanted to welcome Diane and Liz from AmaWaterways for joining us tonight and co-hosting this virtual cruise night with us.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our virtual cruise night. I'm April Robb, co-owner of Sea and Sun Travel Agency. We specialize in luxury all-inclusive resort, group travel, river cruises, destination weddings, and honeymoons. We are passionate about travel, and we love being able to share that passion with our clients. We also love wine, and that's what brings us here tonight.
Since we love wine and we're passionate about travel, why not combine the two into one amazing journey in Europe? On this river cruise, we're going to get to sample old world wines from Hungary, Austria, and Germany, while also getting a chance to enjoy award-winning New World wines from Becker Vineyard, our wine host for this cruise. And with that, it's my pleasure to introduce Diane and Liz from AmaWaterways.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting us. We're so happy to be here this evening. And for those of you who couldn't join us but are hearing this by tape, we, of course, we're still always available, right? Mike is available for any questions that you have about this, even after you've viewed it. And so today I was really fortunate to find out that I could have a special guest with me tonight, who is Liz Barrett. And Liz Barrett works for AmaWaterways as well. I am the Director of Strategic Partner Networks, which means I work with travel advisors, because at AmaWaterways, we do request that you make your reservations through travel advisors in the United States, Canada, or wherever you live. But Liz has the best job in the company, because she is actually what's called a, certified CSW, which means Certified Specialist of Wine.
So impressed with you.
How great is that? What does that mean? What does that mean, Liz?
I'm a professional wino.
I love that. And that means she also is the one that manages all of our wine cruises at AmaWaterways. And at AmaWaterways, we average over 60 of those in a season, which is unbelievable. So we really needed Liz to help us with the management of this, because she's a professional at this, as well as we all know that when you go to Europe, one of the reasons people go there is to try the delicious wines that are there and to just learn about the background, the history, the culture of the vineyards, and how important it is to everything over there, to to all of their commerce, right?
Absolutely.
And so tonight we're going to focus in on the Melodies of the Danube, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about AmaWaterways first. We are so happy to be here in conjunction with Sea and Sun Travel Agency, because they have a special cruise planned, a group cruise, which is going to be extra special because it's taking place on one of our official wine cruises, but it's going to be hosted by Dr. Richard Becker, who is the owner of Becker Vineyards. It's going to take place November the 11th to the 18th, and it's on the Sonata, which for me personally, I happen to love the Sonata. I love all our ships. We have 25 of them, but that one for some reason just holds a special place in my heart. So it's going to be great. I'm going to ask Liz about Becker and the vineyards.
Absolutely. And I agree about the Sonata, because we are both dear friends with the godmother.
Oh, right. Yes, that makes it extra special too.
Yes, Dr. Richard Becker. Becker Vineyards is a very, very large, well-known winery in Texas, which is surprising, but you would be amazed at the wine country there. And as I was telling Diane, the people are so much fun, and they always bring a great following. Their wines are spectacular. And Dr. Becker has traveled with us many times. In fact, he started by just doing a group of his own on board one of our ships, and did so well, and everyone got such great reviews that I asked him if he would be a wine host. So he's done this now. I think it'll be his third time as a wine host. And so you'll get a bonus. With a wine cruise, we take the normal itinerary and we just add fun things to it and a lot of fun people. So that's what we're going to tell you about tonight.
Exactly. And I'm going to move ahead if the slide will allow me to. You know, we did test this out right before. Oh, there we go. So let me just then move into just a little bit about AmaWaterways, about river cruising. I don't know how much you all know about this particular segment of the market, but river cruising has been the fastest growing segment in travel today, and for obvious reasons, and you'll learn that as we go. But I love to start with this quote. Oceans take you to countries. In other words, you can go on a big cruise ship to the edge of a country, but only the rivers can take you through them. And this image is absolutely stunning. I love this picture. Actually, I was just there in this exact location a week ago at Leinstein, Germany on the Rhine River for the christening of our brand new AmaSiena. And this is what it is going to probably look like in November when you're cruising with the beautiful colors of the season. Of course, we can never count on Mother Nature when it's going to give that to us, but it's quite a stunning place to visit. And the cruise is spectacular. To know a little bit about AmaWaterways, it's important to know our roots because we are a family-owned and operated business. We were started in 2002, which means next year, Liz, we're going to be celebrating 20 years. Wow.
That's
and
amazing.
It's hard to believe, right?
I know.
Yeah, and we were started by these lovely people that you see here in this slide. Rudy Schreiner's been coined the pioneer of modern day river cruising because he actually was the person that also, you've heard of another line called Viking. He was the person that launched that line. He also was a leader at Uniworld, but he started AmaWaterways because he's an architect and he wanted to build our ships. He went in business in conjunction with Christine Karst, who had come to work for him at one of those river cruise lines. And she is the person that actually handles really the overall guest experience on board our ships. And also she oversees our sales and our marketing and all of that, along with Gary Murphy. Gary Murphy is also one of the co-owners. He's the son of the original owner with Rudy and Christine, Jimmy Murphy, who passed away. Gary has been with us for many years now, leading our sales team. And so he also brings to the table the fact that his father and his family were the owners of a tour company. So they bring a rich touring background to the table. So between Rudy with his architecture, Christine with her customer service and her guest services, and Gary Murphy, we've got the match made in heaven, right? We have the dream team for sure, right, Liz?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
We're so fortunate. And you need to embrace the background because every company is different, but what defines AMA more than anything about us is that we're a family business. To this day, those individuals are still working 24/7 to run this company. In fact, right at this moment, as we're speaking, Rudy is on a ship, Christine's on a ship, and I think Gary's leaving for another one. So they make sure they're hands-on. And another important thing a lot of people are always concerned about these days is how long we've been in business, how financially sound we are. I can tell you we're a very unique company in the fact that when we build ships, we actually pay for them. And so Rudy always likes to say that he can sleep at night because there's no debt. So you can just see the long list of our beautiful ships. In fact, just on September 6th, we we launched our brand new AmaDahlia, along with the AmaSiena was christened, and the AmaLucia is another new ship that's going to be christened soon. So what about wine cruises? Liz gave you a little window into what they are, and what's so important about wine cruises is that they really are the perfect pairing, taking our cruises to another level. Now on AmaWaterways, we're always going to be giving you incredible wines, right, Liz? They're premium wines. They're unlimited. They're running freely during all our meal hours. But then when you take it and put it at the wine cruise level and you add a host to it, it makes the cruise experience even at a different level. So that's what you'll experience on this. Now,
The wines that you experience are from the region that you're traveling through. So it's not just the wine host wines, it's also the wines of the region, so that you get an extra immersion into the culture as you're traveling through, having dinner, having meals, sipping wine as you're watching the scenery go by. It's all about that additional level of education, enjoyment. Just as Diane has said, everything that goes into making wine cruises our most popular sailings of the year, every year.
exactly. They always rate the highest. And I always say, maybe people are just filling that out after they drink all the wine, Liz, but I'm pretty sure it's because it's so extraordinary. I was blown away the first wine cruise, official wine cruise I went on with Ama at all the inclusions. Do you love this quote, Liz? I thought you might like this one.
I do, and I apologize. There's some sort of phone thing on my computer that they just installed, and I don't know how to turn it off. Apologies for that.
Oh, no
I
problem.
do love this quote though, because it's so true. Drinking good wine with good food in good company is one of life's most civilized pleasures. That's
And
just,
then you match it with this image that you're looking at with all the vineyards around the river, our ship cruising through the bend there in the river, and the vineyards on both sides in that tiny little town. It's idyllic. It really is like this. And I try to tell people, when you go, when you see it and you experience it, you keep pinching yourself, because it seems like you're in a movie, but it's the real deal. Now, this is the wine host, and Liz, you did talk a little bit about Dr. Becker and his expertise, but I also understand he has a great personality.
yes.
So he will be a great host for anybody that's participating in this particular group.
Right. He fits I always look for, through our travel agent partners, these wine hosts, the ones that just fit so beautifully with our wine cruise program are the family owned, still kind of like us. And it just is such a great marriage. And he and his wife and his family run their winery. His wife passed away a few years ago, and as she was dying, and this was right before one of his cruises, she's like, go, enjoy, celebrate our lives together. So it's a spectacular winery, but he appreciates every single region that he goes through when he's hosting. And so you get the benefit of his knowledge and the wonderful wines as well.
Yeah, and I love the correlation of the wines that he produces in the United States with the wines of Europe. It's so interesting to me. And when I did my first wine cruise with Ama, I didn't understand it even myself. And now I learned so much. And I did bring along a friend on one of my cruises that didn't drink wine. And if you don't drink wine, it's not a big deal. There's so much else. Everything that we normally offer on any cruise will be offered on a wine cruise. It's just on a wine cruise, you get that plus. So, but my friend, Liz, that went with me, she started to attend all the wine tastings with me. And by the end of the cruise, she was loving wine. I felt like, oh my gosh, look what I turned her into. Now I go to her house at night. She'll say, Diane, I have this new wine. I want you to try it. And it makes me happy, because she realized, the wine wasn't about drinking to excess. It was about drinking the wine to enhance the flavor of the foods and the meals when we do the wine pairings. It was just so much more. So very exciting. And this is just a shot of the flyer that was made for you at Sea and Sun Travel to promote this, Mike. And this is available, I know, to all of your guests that are interested, that you can send this to them, right?
Correct.
And yep, and I think you're all set to even send this in follow-up as well. And then we'll go over this toward the end about the cruise. But so let me just go a little bit over some more information of Ama, and then we'll go into the itinerary, so you understand. This is a great map to look at so you can get your place where the Danube River runs. Can you see my little arrow here when I do this or not?
Yes.
You can? Wonderful. I never knew if you could do that. So here we are. So on this particular cruise, you're going to be starting in Budapest, Hungary, which is right here. And then you'll be cruising up the river. So you'll see Hungary, Slovakia. You're here in Austria. And then you go all the way up here to Vilshofen, which this is Bavaria in Germany. And for those of you who would like to, you can extend and go to the Czech Republic after. And you can also come to Budapest at the beginning. And it's 8 days and 7 nights it takes. And I always say, you know, in 8 days and 7 nights, you can see 4 countries, 5 countries, but you don't even feel rushed. So it's a very civilized thing. And so why AMA? Why are we different? Again, if you're not familiar with river cruising, the best way I can describe it to you, it's like a floating boutique hotel. You check in, you get on the ship with us, you get to your room, you unpack your bag, and you are done. Now we're going to cruise down a river. Every day we'll be stopping at various stops along the way, some days staying all day, some days staying part day or going to 2 places in a day. But at the end of the day, this is a good picture to give you an idea of what you're going to see along the way. And this is what makes river cruising so popular. It's a very relaxing, peaceful way to travel. When you get on board AmaWaterways, you'll notice that we have well, not when you get on board, but even before you get on board, you'll notice we have lots of suites and staterooms that we offer, all different designs. And of course, Mike can explain all of those to you and give you the options that are available to you. But what I can tell you is that AmaWaterways, we're known for the spaciousness of our staterooms. We have everywhere from the window staterooms, which are on the bottom deck, which are still the largest in the industry, to the French balcony, which gives you the ability to open a glass door and have the rivers at your toe, or even the twin balconies, which give you the outdoor balcony, the full balcony, and the French balcony all in one, and even the suites, if you even want more square footage. I will tell you though, our stateroom size is quite large. Average staterooms on board this particular ship are going to be between 210 and 235 square feet. So very nice. The other thing that's important when you're river cruising is you're not just going there to river cruise, you're also going there to see the destinations that you're cruising along the river. So we've always provided very personalized small group touring experiences. So when you're choosing what you'd like to do every day, you can change your mind. You can choose to do something different every day. You can be in a gentle walking group, which means slower paced. You can be in an active walking group, which means fast paced. You can just be in small groups that go do special experiences, like maybe a nice little wine and chocolate tasting or something along the way. You can do biking tours. You can do hiking tours. On board the ship, you can also partake in our wellness program. We do have this available on all our ships. It's a very important component of AmaWaterways. We're very cognizant of people's health and also the fact that even when you're traveling, many people still want to stay in their routines. It's very important for us all now in these days. So we have a wellness host on board that will be having classes you can take. And guess what my favorite class is? My favorite class is called Champagne Yoga. And it takes place in the morning. You get up in the morning with the wellness host. He gives you, I know this isn't champagne, but he gives you a glass of champagne and you do your stretching and you do everything because, you know, yoga is about balance. And so it's very fun. And you know what else? It brings people together and we're all together and we have a common interest. And plus it gets you going in the morning and gets you all set for whatever you're going to be doing that day. There's lots of things that you can do with this program. And we also are very cognizant of people's dietary needs as well. So all of those things have been taken into consideration. You just have to tell us what it is you need and we can make sure you are delivered that. Now, dining, we are quite known for. We are members of the Chaîne des Routes to Share Society out of Paris. This is a very special designation that is not something you can ask for, pay for, or just get. It's something you have to be asked to become a member of because of the quality of your food service on board. So the one thing I can assure you, with our locally sourced ingredients, our freshly baked breads, pastries, and all of that on board AmaWaterways, the dining is going to be exceptional. And there's multiple dining options. The dining room, we have light dining now in the new bistro style dining that can be done in the panoramic lounge area. And we also have the chef's table. The chef's table is a specialty restaurant, and that specialty restaurant will cook you up the most amazing meal, a 10-course tasting menu, and it's all included. And by the way, so far, everything I'm talking to you about is all included in the price. So there's no extras you're paying for any of this.
Hey, Diane.
And another thing that's very important with AMA is sustainability and sustainable travel. Our owners grew up on the rivers in Europe. They are very, very cognizant and very protective of the environment. And therefore, that is why our ships have all been designated as Green Award winners, which means we have the highest ranking or certification for sustainability with our actual hardware and operations on the rivers. It's very important to Rudy, who designs all of our ships. And now we're done talking about AMA per se. We're going to go right into talking about this beautiful itinerary on the Melodies and some of the special features, because it's a wine cruise. And I'm going to let Liz take it over here because it's showing two of the special offers that are, or tours that are taking place, Liz. And I know you know all about these.
Well, Mike, did you have something you wanted to ask or add?
Yeah, I just wanted to add in regards to the dining. I know one of the things I read, and correct me if I'm wrong, Liz, but one night on the cruise, they do a wine and food pairing with the host's wine.
Right.
And so I just wanted to mention that as well.
Absolutely. In fact, I'll go over the details, the additional things on board that are added to the wine cruise. That's the great thing. We add wine excursions to the normal itinerary, and we add onboard events, which are wine tastings, lectures, sip and sail, where we're highlighting one of the wonderful wines from the wine host, and a beautiful wine paired dinner one night. So absolutely. The excursion part, the wine excursions, the top one, this is in Krems, which is right around where Mike and, oh gosh, I've forgotten your name.
April.
Mike, April, sorry.
That's okay.
The month. Mike and April are in front of Dernstein, and Diane, her background is Weissenkirchen. Krems is right in there, and in the one evening on the, I know, it's like we're bookended.
Right there, yeah.
I'm in general in a fall wine season. But this Schloss Gobelsberg cellar, it's a beautiful estate. We take you there usually in the evening after dinner. So it's all lit up at night. And this has been owned by monks for centuries. And now it is run by one particular family who's been running it for decades. And my experience, I've done this probably 6 or 7 wine cruises on the Danube. And the dad usually gives the tour of the wine cellar, which is literally one of those wine cellars where you go underneath, and it's in a cellar. It's got all of the ancient machines. The wine is covered, the bottles are kind of covered with mold, but it's actually this good kind of mold. It's not the scary kind. And then after that, you're taken upstairs to the ballroom to enjoy a wine tasting that usually somebody else in the family does. So it's a wonderful experience. And Berg Clam in Grine is a castle. And I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe this is the one that is owned to this day by the same family. And you're given a tour by one of the family members, and
one of the princes sometimes.
Exactly. And at the end, there's a wine tasting with they have their own winemaker. And I got to tell you, as a professional wino, I was like following him around because he was serving us wines made from varietals that I wasn't even familiar with. And I'm pretty familiar with Danube wines. So it was pretty spectacular and not anything that anybody else really gets to do on the Danube unless you're with AmaWaterways.
Exactly. And that's what's so special. As Liz just said, all of these things are added extras for no extra charge. And they are so much fun and they're so unique. And that is why I think those wine cruises always rank so high at the end of the day, because there's just so many special experiences. I mean, how often when I went there, I was really lucky because one of the higher ranking family members was there that night. And he just happens to be classified, I think, as a prince. And I had to get my picture with him, of course. And like you said, the wines were amazing. So, it's just something you don't forget. Now, this is a slide just about Budapest. I'm not sure how you're going to do Budapest, but there are pre-cruise options available. But I wanted to show you this shot of the beautiful Parliament building. So this particular cruise that you're on is going to start in this incredible place of Budapest. Probably, I love Hungary. I had no idea how much I loved it until I've gotten to spend some time there. Everywhere you look, you want to take a picture. It really looks like this. These are not just photography, Photoshop. These are real deals. And our ship is docked in locations where we view these incredible buildings. And at night, we even can see the beautiful buildings all illuminated. And, Budapest is one of those places, it's one of those rare towns or cities in the world where it's as beautiful during the day as it is at night. But at night, it is just magical. And so these are just some particular shots of Hero Square and the Matthias Church that's famous, and Castle Hill and Fisherman's Bastion, which is one of my personal favorite places that you'll see along the way. And a great place to start any trip. And I just had to share one more photo because you can tell I'm mesmerized by Budapest, and you will be too. And so, I have two more pictures. I must have really been going crazy. But look at this.
Budapest. Yeah.
Look at this, is real. This is how you see it. And you can see just how majestic it is on the river. So then after starting your trip in Budapest, you're going to be cruising on the river to Vienna. Vienna, of course, is this incredibly magical city, which has the most iconic structures and buildings. If you do have the opportunity, there are Christmas markets that will most likely already be open at that time because they I know modern merchandising, they open them earlier and earlier, but they're quite magical too. And this one will give you lots of opportunities to take city tours, biking tours, hiking tours, hidden Vienna tours, and the like. And I love this slide, Delicious Vienna, because Vienna is also well known for specific dishes that you're going to eat. And none of them have any calories in them, so you can eat as much as you like. At least I like to tell you that. And you will truly enjoy your time in Vienna. I think one of the things that most people envision about Vienna, though, is the opera house, the music background there, of course, with Mozart and all of that. And just the chance to see these iconic buildings and structures. And so there's going to be plenty of time there as well. And I'm sure probably on the wine cruise, Liz, there's probably a little wine option taking place during that.
In fact, I was telling you earlier, one of my favorite excursions is in the evening, only on the wine cruises. We take all the guests that want to go to the local Heurigers, which are the wine taverns that are around the outskirts of the city. And this is where all of the locals go to try the new wines, and especially in November. it's almost like a Beaujolais Nouveau kind of situation. And so you'll be sampling some of the wonderful harvest. And as I said, there's music, there's dancing. I always encourage people, especially when you go to these kinds of excursions, buy the wine, bring it back to the ship, because we have no corkage fee on board our ship.
Yes.
Go to the local markets, buy wine, bring it back on the ship. It's so much fun. But the Heuriger is so special and so much fun, and everybody talks about it. It's truly one of the highlights.
Oh, it so is. And I have to tell a quick story about Austrian wine. So I did not know that I liked Austrian wine until I was very fortunate enough several years back to be able to go on one of our wine cruises on this exact itinerary. And I just fell in love with the Austrian wine. And now I go to the wine stores and I search for my Austrian wines. And of course, you know, Liz, the name of the one that I like the best, Gruner. Yes, Gruner Veltliner. And it's not that easy to find in Florida where I live, but I do find it
Total Wine and More. You can find it at Total Wine and More.
Total Wine and More. Okay, that's where I'm going to have to go because I do love it. And I am now addicted. They also have wonderful champagne and sparkling wine. Now, I can't call it champagne. I know sparkling wines there, which I also fell in love with, called Schlumberger. That's just a little hint for all of you if you're looking for a good brand. Now, this again is what's behind me, right? This is just a different view of it. And this particular area on the Danube River is actually known for its terraced vineyards. And I just wanted to share this with you because there's so many beautiful things in this area. It really takes your breath away. You can take a biking tour there. There's the beautiful area around Dürnstein where you're traveling. And so this particular area is defined primarily by vineyards and apricots, right? And sometimes they make apricot wine. So
they do, and liqueur and chocolate and
oh, that's true. Yes, they've got that all too.
One of the wonderful excursions as well in Weissenkirchen behind Diane is in the evening, we dock usually right in that little town. And in the evening after dinner, we take everyone on walking up into the little local vineyards. So we'll have smaller groups at the different family-owned tasting rooms. And the family get to share with you. You get to have fresh bread, fresh wine, go again, purchase the wine at their little gift shops, bring it back on the ship. It's truly magical. I wish I was there.
And what about this excursion too, Liz? This one.
Oh my gosh.
In Grind.
I have to tell you, the Danube is surprising with the number of wine excursions and very unique, spectacular experiences. And usually people don't even think of the Danube as that kind of experience, but the Wachau Valley has wonderful Gruner Veltliner. They have wonderful Rieslings. They have Zweigelt, Blaufränkisch, just some really fun, different wines that you will come back and feel like a very important expert yourself. But this is, again, an amazing trip up to a castle where you actually have a wine tasting as well. Castles, wine tasting, yes. I'm just saying.
It's just so special. And then just a shot to show you, these are the apricots. And I'll never forget this area. Dürnstein is one of my very favorite areas along the River Danube. It's so beautiful. It's an iconic place. It's a small town with a castle looming overhead and vineyards and apricot orchards, I guess that's what they call them, surrounding it. It's like a magical place that you feel is out of a fairy tale.
And it's a great bike ride. There is a fabulous bike ride all the way along this area from Melk to Dürnstein. It's like
I did it.
15 to 20 miles. Yeah, it's so much fun. Yeah. But it's very straight.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful. You actually ride your bike through vineyards,
Yes.
and we have a guide in the front, a guide in the back, so you can be as fast as you want, or as slow and plodding as you want, or just stop and stare at the scenery. I mean, it's, if you like to bike ride, do that. It's
It
wonderful.
is, and you can see it's flat along the river. All of the towns along the river, remember, were in the olden days, they were connected by these pathways, which
Right.
were actually used by mules that actually towed the boats up the river. That's how it all started. So although there are some hills on the ride that Liz is talking about, they're not bad. And you
Yeah.
stop along the way and you go through the vineyards, and it's just a beautiful way to see it. So whatever you like to do, we've got it for you, which is really nice. And then one of the highlights in this area is the Milk Abbey. It's a magnificent Benedictine abbey. When you go inside, the artwork, the gold, it will take your breath away. It's beautiful to look at visually from the river, but after you go in it and take the tour of it and you look down at the river, it's equally as beautiful. So it's a great stop. And this is just a shot of the library inside that abbey. Pretty impressive. And then also, this is Lynn's. Now, this isn't as magical looking as what Liz was talking about earlier about the Lynn's Christmas markets. But if you can envision in Lynn's, this square is turned into and transformed into a Christmas market. And it's walkable from the ship. And so this is just to give you the understanding that on a river cruise, there are many times where we're docked, where we can literally just get off the ship and walk into town at night. We're going to stay there till late into the night, early into the next morning, so you don't have to rush to get back on board the ship either. So we just want you to relax and enjoy the cruise. And then other highlights along the Danube. Now, Salzburg is not on the river. It takes a bus ride to get there. So we do this by bus to get you to Salzburg, but it's not that far away. And trust me, it is one of the most amazing visits that we have offered. Again, it's all included, and it is really one of the highlights. I know the first couple times I went to the Danube, every time I got on the ship, I always went to Salzburg, and I had to stop myself. And I said, Diane, you have to see something else. And then I would choose one of our other, we have up to 6 complimentary shore activities that we're offering along every port a call, between biking, hiking, small groups, full day tours, half day tours. You just choose whatever you want to do that day, you can choose. So
there's a good chance that this will definitely be decorated for Christmas, and there may be Christmas markets in Salzburg.
Oh, that's true. Oh, you're right. By the time you all
Gorgeous.
go,
Gorgeous.
that's right, in November. Oh, gosh, I have seen it then, and it's amazing. And Chesney Krumlov, one of my personal favorites. It's a fairy tale place in the Czech Republic. And this is another choice that you can make of excursions along the river. And then also we cruise down the river even more, and we end up in beautiful Passau, or cruising up the river. We end up in Passau. To me, this is the most colorful place that we cruise into. Depending on the schedule of your particular cruise on that day, if you happen to be cruising in the morning, I'm looking to see, it looks like you are. If you can get up that morning and get out on the deck, do that champagne yoga class, or get out and do some stretching. When you cruise in, the river here is so peaceful and calm, and all of the homes there are colored in various colors, pastel colors. It's just amazing. It's a sight that you'll never ever forget. And the city itself is just a beautiful place to visit. There's a castle there you can go to. You can do a wonderful hiking tour there, a wonderful biking tour there. It's just really something that you don't forget. Although this is an artist rendering picture, this actually is what it looks like. All of the colorful buildings are reflective in the beautiful glass-looking water, because it's so calm right there in the Danube. And the St. Stephen's Cathedral is one of the famous cathedrals there that we include as part of our walking tour as well. And then we end our cruise with a wonderful celebration in a awesome Bavarian town called Vilshofen. We are the only river line to call on Vilshofen, and the mayor, the Vilshofen queens, the beer, right? The beer queens, everybody comes to our ship, and we truly put on Oktoberfest. Now, I realize this trip is in November. However, just note, it is Oktoberfest on AmaWaterways every day of the year. So no matter when the cruise is coming in, if it's April, May, June, July, we do always host this special festival in Vilshofen. It's a great beginning or a great end of any cruise with us. And there is the beautiful little town of Vilshofen. You're pretty much seeing all of it. And it is a cute, quaint place. And this is actually, let me see, it looks like it has some decorations up for the Christmas time. If you should decide to extend and go on with us on a land tour that can take you to the Czech Republic, which would be Prague, you'll be stopping in Regensburg, which is an entire UNESCO World Heritage town. A lot of times people tell me it's their favorite place they visit because it's quite idyllic. It has this beautiful bridge. Oh, I'm sorry, this is Prague. I'm not showing you the bridge in Regensburg now, but it has a beautiful bridge there in Regensburg that you walk across to get into what I consider kind of a walled city. And then you would continue on to the Czech Republic in Prague for a post-cruise extension. Prague is often referred to as the Paris of the West. It is one of those places that you don't forget. There's many, many bridges there. In fact, ironically, this week on my computer, you know how it flips pictures all the time? It keeps pulling up the pictures of Prague and all the bridges there. And it always questions you as, where is this? And you just take one look at it and you can see the beautiful bridges and this beautiful historic town, and you can see why people fall in love with it. And that's about it. I want to turn it over now to you, Mike, and April, if you want to say any words about your itinerary. I realize you have this prepared to send out to everyone, but I just wanted to share the itinerary that you have for them.
Yes, so we do, after this webinar tonight, we'll be sending out to everyone who signed up for it and who has had interest in the Wine River Cruise. This brochure, and it highlights a lot of what we've talked about tonight. Want to highlight the fact that it is 2 days pre-cruise in Budapest and then 3 days in Prague. And so if you guys are interested in that as well, there is a slide, I think, coming up on that as well. But this is our promotional group savings.
There's your pre and post.
Yeah, pre and post cruise. So you've got 2 nights in Budapest for $560 a person and $900 a person for Prague. And you can just do the cruise. You could do the pre-cruise and the cruise, or you can do the cruise and the post-cruise, or all three of them combined. We're planning to do the whole thing. So if anyone decides to sign up as well, we will be there the whole way, and we'll look forward to spending time with you guys on board.
And I would like to add too that our cruise manager will be with you as well, because the cruise manager not only does the cruise, but also the pre and post. So it's a very seamless experience.
Great. And then we have a promotional group savings right now of $750 per person. That expires at the end of this month on 9/30. So for a cabin, you can save up to $1,500. As of October 1st, that drops down to $250. So if you're interested in booking this cruise, I would suggest you do it now, with the caveat as well that AMA, depending on availability on cabins, can shut that promotional rate down before 9/30 as well. So if you want to get on this cruise and want to save $1,500 per cabin, I would highly suggest you give us a call after this webinar, and our information will be on the slide as well as on the email as well with the follow-up.
Right, and remember that price is all inclusive. All the things we talked about, the food you eat, the wine you drink, the excursions you take, all included. And now you have a special offer as well.
Yes, so if we get 5 cabins to book before 9/30, For those 5 cabins, we're going to be doing a $250 gift card giveaway, and that the choice for the winner will be either a physical gift card, just like we have here. I don't know if it's not showing up. Or we as Sea & Son will put $250 on your onboard account as well for onboard credit. But we need 5 cabins total. So if you guys have any friends that would like to join on this cruise, that's how it'll work. We're also waiving our fees for anybody. We charge a $100 consultation fee, and we're going to be waiving that for anyone who books between now and 9:30 for this Wine River cruise. Our contact information is below as well. And we have a website you'll see in the yellow bar on the right side of the screen, that is the actual wine cruise group webpage we have set up on our website. But we also have a group booking page as well, where you can go and book and put a reservation in with your credit card information, and then we will go into the booking system with AMA and book your cruise and give you a call.
Great. And so that sounds like those are amazing prices that you have right now. And I would have to also urge anyone that's considering this that 2022 is looking very, very popular. For obvious reasons. People are not only itching to travel again and get out there, but it looks like next year will be the year that many, many people will finally get that dream taken care of. And so not only is it an urgency regarding price, but just regarding space availability, because we will fill up. I will just end by saying too that I've just returned from the rivers. I just got home on Thursday. I was on this exact space in this exact image that you're looking at, and it was a beautiful thing. We are all cruising again, one ship at a time. We're, launching them, we're going. Everything is working out quite well. There are new protocols in place due to the things that took place regarding COVID and the request of the countries. But for AmaWaterways, those changes were very, very minor because we always put so few passengers on our ships. And so we were it was very easy for us to make the minor changes necessary to meet those protocols. So we all had the great experience. And I just have to tell you, I'm still smiling because everybody on that ship was smiling. Everybody. They were so happy to be there. And it was a very wonderful experience. And traveling to and from, the hardest thing we had to do was fill out the forms to get into the countries, and that's it. Once you get there, it was really very, very pleasant experience. So with that, I'll thank you very much, Mike and April, for inviting us tonight. And Liz, thank you so much for joining us with your expertise on wines. It's so good to have a resident wino in charge. So
yeah, and we also we wanted to mention really quick in regards to AMA has cruise protection plan available as well, and also the AmaWaterways Waiver Plus program, which we can go over with you guys when you book your travel. So effectively cancellation insurance and also travel insurance coverage as well. And as far as airfare is concerned, airfare will be available through AMA's group booking in December, because it's 11 months out. So just if you're looking to get everything in one, we can cover everything for you and cover the whole trip from start to finish, and give us a call on that.
Wonderful.
So,
well, we thank you so much, and we really look forward to welcoming you to the rivers soon. You will enjoy this experience. If you've never been on a river cruise, it will be life-changing and you will love it. Liz, do you have any last words about wine cruising?
No, we've shared pretty much everything, and it's always going to be even better.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much. And I want to thank Diane and Liz again for being with us tonight and co-hosting this. Really appreciate it. And with that, cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Oh, yes. Cheers.
Cheers.
Have a good evening.